Welcome to ABLG TV. We're talking about 7 things we need you to know about ABA. ABLG TV is brought to you by Above and Beyond Learning Group. We are a therapeutic intervention agency located in New Jersey, and we specialize in applied behavior analysis and speech therapy for learners with autism and related developmental disorders. In today's episode, we're going to talk about some of the things that we desperately wish our families and clients knew about ABA, because without these pieces of knowledge, we run into obstacles in our work. And these obstacles are important to overcome because these facts are important for families to know in order to maximize their time, money, and energy that they've invested in their ABA therapy. Myths and rumors and misunderstandings about applied behavior analysis, or ABA, can stop a lot of parents from seeking this effective form of therapy or maximizing it when it's in their home. So let's talk about a few truths about ABA that we need you to know. Truth number 1. Applied behavior analysis, or ABA, is a slice of a much larger field of study. That means it's empirically validated. Behavior analysis is the scientific study of behavior. This includes behavior in and out of the laboratory. Applied behavior analysis is the study in settings that matter to humans, basically. In other words, applied behavior analysis answers the question, how do we take all of the great information we got in the laboratory and apply it to reading, speaking, living, interacting? In other words, the interventions that we recommend as practitioners are proven. Truth number 2. ABA therapy, when implemented for individuals with autism, does not produce robots. That said, bad practitioners do get bad results. So ask your practitioner how he or she will ensure generalization of the skills that have been learned in therapy. Along the same lines, truth number 3 is that ABA withers and dies when it's kept inside a therapy session. ABA is often done in sessions like traditional therapy. However, we see the most successful outcomes when parents and caregivers carry over the skills outside of the therapy room. Period. End of story. We don't mean to be confrontational. The fact of the matter is that one of autism's core deficits is a failure to generalize. We have to make sure that generalization happens, or else what happens in therapy stays in therapy. And since therapy is not Vegas, please plan to sit in and get dirty. It's important to remember that therapy is not a cure, nor will those skills ever generalize without your active participation. Truth number 4. Don't water it down. This image of flowers trapped behind glass evokes what happens to ABA therapy when we try to squeeze it into a box that doesn't accommodate it. We want to be sensitive and accommodating to your needs. Your BCBA, or Board Certified Behavior Analyst, and team want to be sensitive to what you can and can't put in place at home. That said, remember truth number 1. The recommendations that we make are empirically validated, meaning they're proven. And interventions that are watered down, if we have to make too many compromises or go too far to accommodate the family's needs, those interventions won't work. And that's just the truth. Truth number 5, fading out is a thing. It's a real thing. It's not a grand idea to yank ABA therapy or to yank a skill out from under a program without a specific plan to fade out. When we pull a program or a skill without a fade-out procedure, all the time and effort spent teaching the skill or running that whole home program pretty much goes to waste. Plus, it's important to see how a client reacts to having therapy reduced. Yanking therapy or a skill suddenly can cause all kinds of regression. It's also not a great idea to start and stop individual skill acquisition programs. These programs can take time and tweaking to teach. Remember that kids are people too, and yanking therapists and yanking a consistent schedule suddenly can provoke problem behavior. A better plan than simply terminating school services or a home program one day, or yanking a skill out from underneath a program, is to plan a fade-out procedure with the help of your BCBA or team leader. Truth number 6, if we can't all do it, let's not do it. It's better not to have a behavior intervention plan than to have one that you can't carry out or follow through with. Kids learn pretty quickly who's going to let them get away with what, and a behavior plan that is going to be implemented inconsistently will do more harm than good. You just have to trust us on this one. If everyone is not on the same page, then the behavior plan can actually cause problem behavior to escalate rather than help. Truth number 7 is, yes, that many hours. If your clinician, pediatrician, developmental neurologist, or whomever gave you the autism diagnosis for your child recommends 30 to 40 hours a week of ABA therapy, it can sound completely overwhelming to hear about. Plus, you might be interested in looking at other types of therapy as well. Where will you find all these hours in a week? Well, we get a lot of requests for 2 to 4 hours a week of therapy, which will also be supplemented by an OT, a PT, speech, and other related therapies as well. And we're happy to work with those providers. However, it's important to remember that ABA therapy, one of the most important characteristics is its intensiveness. And so just 2 to 4 hours a week of therapy are simply not going to work and go against the Surgeon General's recommendations. But the good news is that the last thing you need to know about ABA therapy is ABA therapy is more than academics. So when you consider a 30 to 40 hour week program, we're going to be handling skills like getting dressed, age-appropriate life skills like brushing teeth or vocational skills, recognizing personal space, safety skills, play skills, answering when called from another room, really anything that the client should be doing at his or her age. We understand that you want to prioritize problem behavior and you want to prioritize academics so that a child can catch up and go into the mainstream. And we completely respect those decisions. And please consider our perspective, which is that we've seen many children get older and older without having the appropriate life skills that they need in order to participate in those mainstream settings. So when you think about everything that ABA therapy can address, 30 to 40 hours a week doesn't really seem like that much. Now it's your turn. Leave us a comment below. What myths and truths about ABA therapy would you love to see discussed? And don't forget to find us at www.ablg.org for more tips and resources, especially in our Learning Center and articles segment. Check us out on Facebook at facebook.com/ABAABLG. Find us on Pinterest, Twitter, and LinkedIn as well, where we curate the hottest tips and current events for the autism community. Thanks for watching ABLG TV, and be sure to check back weekly for new episodes.